So let me use the opportunity to tell you a little bit about where I came from, about myself a little bit. What is this? The Great Wall of China, map of China, and this is a forbidden city. I grew up in a family where my parents on both sides, my younger brother in front, we did not believe in God. We believe in education. I remember as a kid growing up, Dad used to tell me that, Ming, if you can master mathematics, physics, and chemistry, you can go anywhere in the world. So I was a good student. I studied very hard. And, the whole family was focused on education. The entire future was hinged upon education. So what I'm about to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it is so unbelievable that you're going to ask me, really, could that possibly ever happen? Yes, it did. So this is what happened. 1966, have you heard about Cultural Revolution or Cultural Holocaust, really? It's unbelievable. It's as unbelievable as Holocaust itself that could happen in 20th century. 1966, the dictators in China, the communist dictator, decided the best way to keep on dictating is actually to destroy the future of all the young people. You know what they did? It's unbelievable. They shut down the universities of the entire country and forcefully deported every single junior high, senior high graduate to the poorest part of the country and condemned each of them a lifetime of poverty and hard labor. That means working in the field, under the sun, hard labor, earning few dollars a month for the rest of your life. Life sentence. Every single youth. If any of us dare to escape back to the city, we could be jailed or killed. They just didn't do this for a day or two. They did it for 10 years. Destroyed the future of 20 million youth. So it's unbelievable that something like this happened to a whole nation. But the point is, when there's no democracy, there's no freedom. This could happen. So 1974, I was 14 years old. I finished my junior high. I was ready to go for my senior high. Then deportation order came down to my house. Ming, deport. For life. For life. So it turned out one way to escape deportation is to have a music talent. If you can play a music instrument, communist government did have the song and dance troupe. So you can get into song and dance troupe of communist government, thereby avoiding the deportation. So I picked up this Chinese violin to play. Every day, I played the song written by this blind artist who wrote this beautiful piece. They walk out at night, see the moon shining down on the lake. It's a beautiful but also very sad piece because the artist who wrote this piece could not see. He was imagining how beautiful it could have been if he could see. So at age 14, I should be like any other teenager looking to a lifetime of possibility and excitement. I, together with 20 million youth, were all condemned to the bottom of society, losing all hope for future, all hope for any education, further education. And I was playing the piece written by this blind artist, resonating with his sad feeling. He could not see physically. I could not see mentally any future. So then the government discovered that many youngsters, including myself, were studying music in mid-1970s with an ulterior motive, not really for music, but to get into the communist song and dance troupe, thereby trying to avoid deportation. So they put an end to that. You couldn't study music. So I picked up dancing because, communist song and dance troupe. But that was not successful either. The government did not allow that. At the beginning of the seminar, I actually played a few videos of ballroom dancing and the Chinese violin playing with Dolly Parton for you. I had a point. Here in America, very often their friends would say, "Oh, Ming, so nice, you can play an instrument, you can dance, you have all these hobbies, so nice." My reply was always, I didn't learn as a hobby. I learned it to survive. So I tried all these things, was not successful. My fate was the certain deportation and lifetime of poverty. I was this close to be deported when 1976, the dictator died. So all of a sudden, China woke up. realizing what a tragic mistake it has made upon itself by having destroyed the future of an entire generation of young people, 20 million. So they reopened colleges, first time in 10 years. So I was a 9th grade dropout 3 years prior, and I was supposed to jump ahead to 12th grade overnight, try to get myself into the top 1 or 2% of 12th grade, because only the 12th grade graders were allowed to participate in the first college entrance examination in China in 10 years. And there are 10 times more applicants because all these 10 years prior, students were deported from 1966 to 1976, all were coming back to participate in exam and for this only opportunity to get into college. So there are 10 times more applicants. So 1976 was the single most difficult year to get into college in China. So I was supposed to jump 9 to 12 overnight, and I nearly killed myself studying, but like millions of others, we knew that our back was against the river. If you step one step back, you'll fall into the river. So you have no choice but fight for your dear life. I barely got into college. I was lucky, but I didn't want anything to do with dictators, as you would imagine. So 1982, with $50 borrowed from a visiting American professor, with relatives poured together enough money for a one-way airplane ticket. I was dropped off National Airport, Washington, D.C. with that $50, with a Chinese-English dictionary, knowing no one in this big new country, but with a big American dream. I had good fortune of attending some of the wonderful schools in this country. And my last 30 years of work serving my patients is based upon the appreciation of freedom, appreciation of America. So that's a synopsis of my biography, From Darkness to Sight. About escaping communist prosecution, darkness came to this country for freedom. You know, today that sometimes we have trouble motivating our next generation, our young students, to appreciate, to work harder in school. How can we motivate them again? I think one of the ways perhaps is for them to read the stories of life stories of another youngster at another time who has so much less, who suffered so much more. Maybe the young student today here in this country would appreciate what they have more, and then they will work harder. So that's the intent of this biography, From Darkness to Sight, to encourage young people in this country to appreciate America, appreciate freedom, to work harder in school.